You know, once I saw a video of a Muslim making a speech in a city hall in I forgot which state, Tennessee, something like that. And he said in the city hall, he said, in this city hall, the where we are sitting here, everybody in this building and the founder of your country, they used to own slaves. And I was laughing. Muhammad, he was a guy who buy and sell slaves. How a Muslim, he talk about the founders of America and they say they are used to be owning slaves and this is bad supposedly, but he forgot to mention that Islam is the religion of slavery, and Muhammad himself, he used to own slaves and he died and still he owned a slave, which means he did not free them. And one of them, great example, a guy, his name is Bilal al-Habashi, the Ethiopian Bilal, which Muhammad enslaved him and Muhammad died, and yet he did not free him. Now, Muhammad morality. Muhammad morality. Let us see here some of the morality of Muhammad. Which verse I will take? Which verse? Let us take this one. Hold on. Let us start with this one. In chapter 4, verse number 24, which is an extremely important verse for Muslims, it says, والمحصنات من النساء إلا ما ملكت أيمانكم كتاب الله عليكم وأحل لكم وراء ذلك etc. فما استمتعتم به منهن فآتوهن أجورهن. This verse says that it's forbidden for you married women except the women you kidnap them from their husbands. Chapter 4, verse number 24. It's forbidden for you. It's unlawful for you. Women already married. So we are talking about what? We are talking about women who they have a husband. Women, they are already married. The Muslims, they kidnap them from their husbands. And those are lawful for you. That is the morality. However, the story here, actually, this is not really why I quote this verse for. We know that Muhammad, he kidnapped women and he raped them, and half of his wives, actually, they were kidnapped and raped. Even before he raped them, his men raped them. As an example, Safiya. But here you will see Muhammad is teaching something beyond the rape of the slaves he captured. He is talking about a Muslim woman, she can rent her vagina and she get paid for the vagina service. You see here, they say to you, this is the Muslim translation, they say to you that it is forbidden for you a married woman except a slave, and then he continues saying, except for these all others are lawful provided you seek them in marriage with a gift from your property. It doesn't say that. There is no marriage and there is no, what are you talking about? And then they say here adores. This verse is the verse of the muta. What muta mean? Muta mean when you go somewhere, you go in the street, you see a Muslim woman, you say to her, how much you charge me if I sleep with you for 2 hours? You have to tell how long, and then you discuss how much. So if she agree and you agree, this is halal in Islam. The Muslim, they will say to you, well, this is was in a like certain time and now it's forbidden. It doesn't matter what certain time or not. And by the way, never been forbidden. Because the Muslim, they say that we are people who obey Allah, and we cannot find one place in the Quran says that this practice changed anywhere, any mean. If we go in the Quran, in the Hadith, sorry, we will find the nature of Muhammad. All right. Let us see which one we will read for you. Here we see an example how Muhammad and his men, they were horny, and the story is saying that men and Muhammad, they were away from their wives and they desire sexual intercourse. So what we will do? So they ask Muhammad what we should do. It doesn't matter really if you do it or not. The advice is very simple. Do what is written in the book of Allah. What is in the book of Allah is to do sex with women you do not know, just for sex. And Muhammad, he refused that. I want to show you a more clear hadith about this. Here we go. Look at this hadith. Let us zoom in. We went out with the messenger of Allah on the farewell to do Hajj, and then said, "Oh messenger of Allah, we became, you know, like horny, huh? And it became difficult to us to stay away from women." So he said, look what he said, and look at the fast translation. He said, "Then make temporary marriage." You know what? I will shave my 20-foot beard if you can show me where it says there, do temporary marriage. The liar Muslims, they always insert the word marriage when Muhammad never said that. Muhammad, he said in Arabic, and let me show you. When they said to him, "We cannot take it no more, we need to F some women," look what he said. قال فاستمتعوا من هذه النساء. Go enjoy those women. He did not say go and do marry those women. What marriage? What temporary marriage? They said to him, "We are horny, what we will do? You know, we did not F any women for a while. What we will do?" This is the religion of effing. There's no marriage. Even the word nukah mean the F word. And I will show that to you. So what the advice of Muhammad for those who they said we need women? He said, go and F them. Here we go, this woman, go F them. And then this is why I say to you always, don't ever trust Muslims translating for you anything. And then they went. So here there's no word marriage. This is temporarily effing, which means there's no marriage. This is why it's called temporary. Have you ever heard of marriage is temporary? I mean, what temporarily mean? 15-minute marriage? Have you ever heard of somebody marrying someone for 15 or for 1 hour just to F her and to F him? You see, the morality is in Islam is to give titles to cover the shame of this cult. So they add the word marriage for fornication. Do you understand what I'm saying? Islamic claim too much morality. So what they do to cover fornication or killing or a theft, they give it different name. Like when Muhammad, he attacked the neighbors and he take their women, what they call it, fatah, opening, not a theft, not a stealing, not a terror, not a killing. When a man he sleep with the women for 15 minutes and he pay her money, this is not prostitution. They call it temporary marriage. Trying to fool us or to fool yourself? Is that the morality of Jesus? What Jesus will say if he heard or saw such a thing, and I'm sure he hear us right now, of a guy who claimed to be a prophet, he allowed his men to go and enjoy women, and he said random women. He did not even say like go find a woman she like you. No, you go look, there's women there, go F them, huh? Go if them. Now the Muslims, they went to those women, which Muhammad he point his finger at. They went to them and they asked them to allow them to if them. I mean, what kind of society the society is? You go to a woman you see in the street, you say, hey, I want to if you. So we went to them, but they insisted on setting a fixed time between us and them. Imagine, guys, I like a girl, and supposedly this is about marriage. You see, let us expose the lies and the morality of Muslims. If this is a marriage, since when women they will ask you for how long you will marry us? Have you ever heard of a girl, she will say to you, you need to tell me right now how long you will marry me? An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 night, 2 nights. This is marriage. And this is the morality which Muslim they speak about. You see that the funny about the Muslim, they say to you the Western are scumbag, they have boyfriend and girl. The Western, they have a lot more honor than your prophet himself. At least they do say, and they name things when they do it wrong. They name it as it is. A person, he have a girlfriend, he say, I have a girlfriend. He don't care a temporary marriage. They have more dignity than you. You Muslims, you do more evil stuff. A girlfriend for a Western man, she is not getting paid to take off her panty. Your women are being a prostitute. She take off her panty for the sake of money. She is not interested in you. She is interested in how much money you will pay or what you will give her, because at that time money was everything. Like people, they go to the market not necessarily carrying money. Actually, most of people at that time, they don't even use money. It was not really too much popular to have money unless you live in a state, and those two people don't live in state. They are not part of any state. Bedouin in the desert. So what they do, they exchange goods. This is their money. I give you something, you give me something in return. What do you have? So they mentioned that to the prophet, and he said, okay, set a fixed time between you and them. I mean, what a wonderful prophet. Imagine, Lord forgive me, I'm just saying that for the sake of education, for the dumb one, the Abdul who don't want to understand. Imagine Peter and Paul and Mark and me walking with Jesus. It will be my lucky day to see that day. And then I say to the Lord, hey Lord, I need a woman, I cannot take it no more. And then Jesus, he said to me, oh, go, you see those girls there, go sleep with them. How dare you Muslims to lecture others about morality, and you have such a person teaching you that you can rent a woman vagina per hour or per minute. This is your best man. He is the one who is giving advice, allowing you to rent women for a fixed period of time. And if the Muslim, they want to say to us, well, this is later was forbidden, it doesn't matter he forbid it or not. This is explained to us who is he, and what is the proof he forbid it. We have a verse in the Quran that says that he did practice it. There's a hadith from Ali. Ali, he said, if not Umar forbid muta, which is renting a woman for 1 night or 1 hour stand, no Muslim will commit adultery. For sure no Muslim will commit adultery, because all of them, they would do muta. For adultery and muta is the same. According to Ali, the one who forbid it is Umar. And the Shia, they say that Umar, what happened, he slept with the women and he came long after to do muta again. And then he found out that the woman he slept with her was the daughter of that woman he did muta from her. And that's why he forbid that. But it doesn't matter who forbid it. What kind of a prophet he allowed it. As you see, people at that time, they are not doing muta. Otherwise, people, they will not ask him, should we go that? Can we do that? He is the one who gave the advice to do it voluntarily. Why he did not say go and marry some women? You know, okay, you are horny, you need a woman, okay, go find a woman to marry you. What do you mean go enjoy them? And what do you mean for a preset time? So when a Muslim he speak about morality, you always put in your mind, morality for Muslims is to be a person who hire women for sex and pay them wages for opening their legs. This is the morality of Islam. Morality in Islam that you can do everything which is filthy and disgusting as long you are doing it according to the teaching of the Prophet, because he is the best man. If the best man was a thief, so what kind of morality we will get from the thieves? If the best man he was an adulterer, what is the morality of fighting adultery will come from his followers? And how we can compare this with the teaching of Jesus, the one who said that if your eye will take you to hell, take it, unblock it, take it off. What we will do with this, and the teaching of the Bible says, don't wish a woman she is not yours. In different hadith, we will find another kind of morality about Muhammad. Once Muhammad was sitting in the front of his house with his friends, and a woman she walked by. A woman she walked by. Sahih Muslim, the book of marriage. The funny they call it marriage. I mean, look at this, guys. The book of marriage. When you see, when you hear a Muslim saying marriage, you believe it. You think Muslims believe in marriage. There is no marriage in Islam. Guys, what is the name of the book? Read with me, please. What is the name of the book? Kitabun Nikah. You see, they have it for you in English. Kitab what? And Nikah. Okay, what Nikah mean? What Nikah mean? Nikah mean to F someone. So why they lie and they say Nikah mean marriage? How we can prove that Nikah mean to F somebody? Let me show you. That's why I say always, don't ever take Muslims' words, explain to you their religion. They love to lie. Lying is part of Islam, my friends. All right. This is the Muslim website, alislam.org. alislam.org. Okay. What the word nikah mean? Let us see. I will go down until I found it. Here we go. Read with me, please. Nikah, look here, it says nikah is literally mean sexual intercourse. Do you see it? Do you see it? This is what Islam believe in. There's no marriage. The book of nikah is the book of effing. So why they translate in English, they say the book of marriage, when this book about nikah, and nikah is literally means the F word. If the Prophet of Islam is a prophet who have a dignity, why he wanna call the act of marriage the F word? Why in Arabic we have the word, we have many words for marriage. Why we want to use nikah? And you see, if I say my own words, they will say he giving you false translation. As you see, this is an official Islamic website. This is not my website. I have nothing to do with it. alislam.org. So here when they translate for us the word nikah and they say to us nikah mean marriage, I mean, is that a joke? The book of marriage? It's not the book of marriage, it's the book of nikah. It's the book of effing. This is why here, and excuse my language, guys, I'm not being rude, but I am saying things as it is. This is why we see here Muhammad, he did not go marry, he is married already, and he did not go to his wife and ask her to marry him again. No, he went to his wife and he effed her. Jabir reported that Allah Messenger saw a woman. He saw what? Saw a woman. And so he come to his wife. What do you mean he saw a woman? What does that mean, he saw a woman? I see women every day. So it doesn't say that. Muhammad, he saw a woman and he got horny. He liked that woman. He was staring at her ass. He was staring at her body. He could not hold himself. Right away he went to his wife Zainab, and he was so horny to the point that Zainab, she was tanning leather. Do you know what does that mean? When they tan leather, they have a boiling water and they have leather and they look so ugly and they smell, and she is busy and she might burn herself. Muhammad, he cannot take it no more, so he went to Zainab as she was tanning leather and had sexual intercourse with her. So what made Muhammad go and have sex with his so-called wife? And I'm not going to talk right now about who is Zainab later. Zainab, for those who do not know, is the wife of his own son by adoption, who Muhammad, he forced him to divorce her so he can have her and if her. So Muhammad, he saw a woman, he went to Zainab. So what the connection between seeing the women and effing Zainab? That this woman, she made him excited. How a woman, she will make an excitement to a man unless the man is not thinking of her in a certain way. We see a lot of women every day, right? And me as a man, if I see a woman in the street, why she want to make me excited? Unless me is staring at her in a certain way. It is the way we think of a woman what will make us excited or not. So it's very normal if you like a woman and or you love her, then she can make you excited, no problem with that. But this is a woman just walking down street. Why a prophet of God? If we ask a Muslim, you say to them, is it allowed for a Muslim man to stare or to look at a woman she is not his wife? They will say no. A'udhu billah, no way, my friend. Okay, the prophet was the best of men, right? Yes, the prophet was best of men. So what he was doing here? He was looking at her bum. What make him exactly feel that he need to go right now and if his wife immediately, to the point he cannot even wait until she finish her work? Is that the morality of a man? Is that what Peter and Luke and Mark they used to do? Is that what Jesus was doing? For sure we know that Jesus, he have no any sexual activities ever. However, the teaching of Christ is so clear about that. You cannot wish a woman she is not yours. You should not. And look how the evil Muhammad, how he blamed the women. After he saw the women staring at the women, look at her ass, he went to Zainab, he F Zainab, and then he says, what he says, look at me, look at this, read with me. The women advances and retires in the shape of the devil. So it is not him the devil, it is the women. I mean, can you believe this is come back? It is not him, it's not him the devil, it is the women. I mean, Muhammad is a victim, can't you tell? The woman is the one who advances and retires in the shape of a devil. Hold on, Muhammad. If the woman she is a devil, why you went to Zainab to F her? Why you want to F the devil? Why you believe women are the devil, but yet you have at least 13 wives and hundreds of mistress and sex slaves? Is that how you Muslims have the best morality? That when you see a woman, you should go and do your wife. So you stare at a woman and you see, I'm a good guy, I'm not going to do her, I'm going to do my wife. But I look at her ass, I look at her breast, I stare, I get aroused, I get excited, and then I go to my wife and then I do my wife. You see, I'm a good guy. What morality? Now, as long we mention Zainab, as we see here in the screen, Zainab is a married woman to his Muhammad son by adoption, and Muhammad himself is the one who married her to him, which make me believe clearly that Muhammad, he used to have sexual intercourse with her when she was married, and when he could not take it no more that she is sleeping with someone else, he would have her in his house. Now he is a prophet, now he's strong, now nobody can disobey him. So he went to her house and he flirted with the married women. He flirted with what? With the married women. If we go and see in the story which is reported by Muslims, we will find the following. You see, everything we say, we give reference. Everything we say, we give reference. Let me pull up the reference. We don't like to give speeches. We don't do that. The book in the front of us is Tafsir al-Qurtubi, and we can read it from different tafsir, no problem. You will see in the Muslims interpretation, and sorry I don't have it in English, you know, I have it if you have my books you can read from there. You will see what happened exactly. Let me show you. ثم إنه عليه السلام أتى زيدا يوما يطلبه فأبصر زينب قائمة كانت بيضاء جسيمة من أتم نساء قريش فهويها. So Muhammad once he went to visit his own son Zayd, looking for him. So he saw Zainab and she was standing up and she was white and beautiful and big, and one of the most beautiful women of the tribe of Quraysh. So he loved her. This guy, he loved all the women walking by. The women walking in the street, he loved her. He F his wife. The woman, she is married. The Muslims reporting to us that Muhammad, he went to the wife of his own son and she was married. You know, the Muslim, they will say to you, do you know that David, he was you know, he like a woman, she was married. David, he cried asking God for forgiveness. He knew he was a sinner, he knew he was doing wrong, he knew he was doing a stupid bad thing. Here the Muslims praising him for that, and Allah gave him a verse saying go and take her. But this woman is a married woman. How you love a married woman? And what kind of love? It's a lust. This guy, he don't care for them, he just want to F more women. And then he said when he saw her standing up, and according to some story in the same page actually, that she was seen through, she was wearing see-through clothes or clothing, so he saw her body, she's almost naked. So Muhammad, he said, Subhanallah muqallibul qulub, praise be to Allah, the one who made my heart go crazy for you or flip for you. فسمعت زينب بالتسبيح. So Zainab, she heard her praise to her. So she told Zayd, who is Zayd? Her husband. She told Zayn. So Zayd went right away to Muhammad, says, I want to divorce her, man. I don't want to divorce her. I don't like her. She is bad. You see the scam? It's obvious that the wife of Zayd and Muhammad, they have a relationship together, and now she decide that he should know that it's time for him to leave her because your dad, he want me. So here you will see in Arabic it says فَفَطِنَ Zayd. So Zayd got an attention for that. So he knew now that his father is effing his wife. So he went to the Prophet. He said, the Prophet, let me divorce her. I don't really like her. You know, she is so proud. And Muhammad, he said to him, which is a verse in the Quran right now, أمسك عليك زوجك واتق الله. So Muhammad says to him, come man, keep your wife, man, don't divorce her. Look at the hypocrite liar. An hour ago he was in the house of the man saying to his wife, my heart is beating for you, I am in love with you. Now he is saying to the husband, as nothing happened, oh, man, don't divorce her. Come on, don't divorce her. He knows going to divorce her, because there's no man have a dignity will accept to keep a woman she is sleeping with his father. But because he do not know, he do not dare to do anything. And maybe even Muhammad will kill him if he did not. So look at the hypocrite. He was flirting with the women 15 minutes ago, and after 15 minutes he said to the husband, no, keep your wife, man, keep your wife. No, keep your wife. This is the morality. I go to my own friend, forget about my son. The Muslim, they will say to you that, well, this is a son by adoption. That's even more ugly. You see, when you adopt a person as a son, and if you don't believe you are qualified to be a father, or let us say it is not right for you to be a father, how you go to the house of somebody? Let us say he is not your son, let us say he's your friend, let us say he's your neighbor. You go to his wife when the husband is not there and you flirt with her. Is that the morality? So based in the morality which Muhammad he did, every Muslim, he can go and flirt with married women in her house when the man is not there. And you will notice that Muhammad, he said that loudly to that woman in purpose. For sure he wanted her to hear what he said. Otherwise, why he did not keep that in his heart? Let us say I saw a woman and she is so beautiful and I was tempted. Okay, it can happen. Why I spoke loud to this married woman to the point she can hear me? He is not just doing it because he is tempted. He is doing it in purpose. The woman, she is married, she have a husband, and I challenge any Muslim to tell me that it's okay to flirt with married women. The Muslim, they will give you speeches about that is not right, that's not good. So how your prophet he did it? Well, he is a prophet. And look here, and it says that Allah, look, Allah, he sent wind, so he lift up the curtain, and Zainab, she was a mutafaddila, which means almost wearing no clothes in her house. Here we go, it's Allah. Allah, he sent wind, so he lift up the clothes or the curtain, so Muhammad, he can see her legs and her ass. And then fara'a Zainab fawaqa'at fi nafsi, so he saw Zainab and he wanted her. And ووقع في نفس زينب أنها وقعت في نفس النبي, and Zainab, she know now that Muhammad, he wanted to F her. This is the morality. This is the morality. I go to my neighbor house or my son house or my friend house and I flirt with the women, and I say to her with loud voice, with no shame, praise be to Allah, the one who made my heart beat for you. Muhammad, are you sure the one who was beating for her is your heart or your penis? Actually, just to show you how shameful, disgusting this religion is, look what Zainab, she said, to show you that she is part of this crime. They are cheating in the poor husband. Look what Zainab, she said. وفي بعض الروايات أن زيدا تورم ذلك منه حين أراد أن يقربها. What? Muslims, anyone who speak Arabic here as a Muslim, wanna call me and explain to me how this happened. وروي في الخبر أنه أمسى زيد فأوى إلى فراشه فقالت زينب ولم يستطعني زيد وما امتنع منه غير ما منعه الله مني. In that night, Zaid, he wanted to F his wife Zainab, so he could not do it. His penis is like it's not working. And Zainab, she said, I believe it was Allah who would stop him from effing me. And then she said that the reason that happened, that each time Zaid he tried to do her, Allah make his penis swell. إن زيدا تورم ذلك منه حين أراد أن يقربها. That Zaid penis swell each time he tried to F her. I mean, do you see the morality? Allah is biting the penis of the husband, and he is the husband. He make the penis of the husband swell. It's a miracle. You see, when Muhammad he like a woman, Allah will not make the husband penis work. So Allah he made the penis of the husband swell. What do you want more proof of miracles and Muhammad is a prophet? How you can ignore that? So what this article here is about, the best example is Muhammad. Muhammad is the best example? Are you sure? Muslims, are you sure Muhammad is the best example? If this is your best example, sorry guys, I mean this guy is a scumbag. Ask yourself, Muslims, if a man he do that with your wife, what you will do to him? If God he did that to you yourself, what if Muhammad come to your house and he like your wife and Allah make your penis swell? Are you going to love this God? Are you going to love Muhammad because he is going to F your wife and Allah he make your penis swell? What morality? What about teaching people you can lie? Muhammad he said you can lie in three cases: to your wife, to your family, and to your friends. Who is left? Morality? I mean, Muslims they have a big shot when they speak about morality. As he said, the best of you is the best among you in conduct. Yeah, we saw how you are in best in conduct. We saw it. Another example of the morality, but now I'm not going to talk about Muhammad. I will give Muhammad a break. Look at this. All of you, you know that I have many books, and one of them is in German, right? The Muslims, they make videos. You see this guy here, he made videos asking the Muslims to go and make a fake review of my books. This is the morality of Muslims. This is the morality of Muslims. Go and make a false review of a Christian Prince book. But you did not buy my book, you did not read my book, you do not know even what one letter what is written there. This is exactly the morality of Islam. How somebody claim morality he do this, and then you go in in the page of Amazon. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you the morality of Muslims. All right. This is my German book. And actually, people who speak German, they love this book. They love it, they love it, they love it. And you can ask anyone. Now you will see here in the review, not everybody buy a book or read it, he review, few of them. There's 48 review. It's almost 4 stars, 3 stars and a half. Look how many 1 star. Let me show you the 1 star. You know who is the 1 star, right? The 1 star review is from people who never bought the book. Look. You see in Amazon, when somebody buy a book, is going to show in the top of his name, it says verified purchase. None of those Muslims did buy the book. And look at this guy, he's posting from the Bible. This is the second guy. He never bought the book, 1 star. This is a third guy, Salim. He never bought the book, one star. This guy never bought the book, 1 star. This guy never bought the book, 1 star. 1 star, 1 star. None of them bought the book. The reason for that, because Islam is a religion of morality. Should a Muslim ask himself, hold on, this is not honest? I did not even read a page in this book. Shouldn't he say to himself, shame on me to make a review in a book I never read? It doesn't matter. They are Muslims. They are followers of the devil. Look, all of those. None of them did buy my book. None of them bought it. Now here you will see who bought the book. This guy is giving me 5 stars. What it says next to his name? Verified purchase, which means this person, he already bought the book. Do you see it? In red. They have no dignity. They have no honor. You see, I did not start talking about Muslims because I want to show you first how filthy Muhammad is, and that will explain why Muslims, they do what they do. If Muhammad was a good person, a Muslim, he should say to himself, I'm not going to make a false review of a book I did not buy, or a movie I did not watch. How you can review a book you never saw? I will tell you how. For your father is the devil, and your father is the father of all lies. That's what the Bible says, and that's what Jesus said. Because of that, you deny Christ, for you are following the devil. You deny the one who is teaching a good teaching, and you follow Muhammad, the child molester, the womanizer, the woman he flirted with his own son wife, and then later he forced him to take her. You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and Muhammad was a murderer. He was a liar. He ignored the truth, for he have no truth in him. When he speak lies. And this is why we see Muhammad promising men to have women you can see through their bones because they are so white, trying to tempt men to go and die for him for the sake of a vagina. When he speak lies. So is his followers. They make a review of a book they never bought, they never saw, they never hold in their hand. They speak too much of morality. What about the morality of beating your wife? What about the prophet who taught me how to deal with women? Do you think a man he have a dignity he respect himself, he will beat a woman. It doesn't matter how bad the woman is. Now, if the woman she attack you, you have the right to defend yourself. It doesn't mean if she's a woman, you know, you hold your hands and she can beat you and she can, maybe she can kill you too, right? No, we're not saying that. Islam taught the man that the good man is the one who treat his wife in certain way. What way? By beating her. By beating her. You know, the Muslim, they say to us, the Prophet, he says, take care of the women, they are easy to break. Yeah, but he taught you too, and you can beat her. I mean, what to break? Oh, beat the wife. Yes, it says beat the wife, but beat them lightly, lightly to the point you make. You know, guys, they say to you, beat the wife, but don't make an injury. Thank you very much for not making an injury. My friend, dogs in America, they have more rights than Muslim women. If my neighbor, if anyone saw me beating an animal, it doesn't matter what animal, a cat, a dog, anything, the police will come to my house and I will be arrested and I will be taken to court. So what kind of religion teach you as a Muslim man that it's okay to beat the women? As we see in the front of us. So we can rent women for sex. We can have up to 4 women for sex. And we can divorce as many as we wish. You see, there's no limitation for how many women you can divorce in Islam. Not only like when people they think that Muslim man he can marry up to 4. That's not true. Muslim men, they have no limitation of how many they can marry. A Muslim wanna call me? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Look like there's a Muslim would like to call, so let us give him a chance to call. No problem. You do not need to like I do not need to add you. Just call me directly. All right. Call me. The Muslim guy who wanna call, feel free to call, please. Let us see. I want to show you that. Call me, my friend. Call me. The Muslim is trying to call. Call. You do not need to add me. Just call. Debate TV. That's me, somebody. Let us see. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Welcome in the live broadcast. So you are calling. What is the question you have for us? Hello. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you right now. So what do you want to say to us?
Oh, hello. Hello. I just want to talk about something, if you don't mind.
Well, we have a topic here is about morality in Islam. So if you don't mind, we stay in the topic, and maybe after we finish, we can go to something else.
Okay. Okay. Morality in Islam.
Yes. Are you a Muslim?
No.
Oh, okay.
I come from a Muslim family.
Oh, all right. So you are. I thought you are a Muslim. Actually, I was happy, excited that a Muslim is calling me. I'm disappointed now.
Don't worry. I'll try to live up to your
Okay.
standard.
Then let us go to your question. What is your question then?
I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to talk about
all
something.
right. Okay, go ahead.
Basically, because you've got a YouTube platform, I want to talk about the doctrine of the Trinity, if you don't mind.
No problem. Go ahead.
No. So basically, there's a lot of Muslims online in very well-known YouTube channels, such as SC Dawa and all these kinds of Muslim channels. And I've been watching a lot of their videos, and the amount of lies and misrepresentation of Christian doctrine that the Muslim perpetrate on a daily basis is absolutely astonishing. And to be honest, I just really want to address some of their points that they make.
No problem. You see, my friend, this is actually part of the morality, because if somebody is follower of the good God, he will not lie about someone else believe in order to promote himself. So Muslims, they have a lack of morality, and this is why, that explains why they are doing this, because their father is the devil, and they, you know, he is from the beginning a liar. He is the founder of all lies. So what do you expect from a Muslim who follow Islam to be?
The blind leading the blind.
No, they're the blind, by the way. They're the blind. They knew they are lying. You see what you just said. They say lies about the Trinity, right? So they knew it's a lie. There's no way they do not know. They know. But the question is why they lie. I mean, okay, no problem. You want to refuse the Trinity, refuse it. You want to speak against it, speak against it, but don't lie about what the Christian about the Christian believe. You know what I mean?
I think the reason is why they have to lie about Christian doctrine is because the intellectual foundations of Islam are so weak. The only way that they can propagate their own beliefs is by misrepresenting certain facts.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because they have nothing. They have no base. They have no base, and when you have no base, you have to fabricate base so you can be more convincing.
So Muslims believe that Jesus was one of their mightiest prophets, and he worshipped Allah and things like this. However, there's no historical evidence of a Muslim Jesus ever existing. The only time a Muslim Jesus came into existence is when Muhammad thought of him up. And when we go to our earliest, most reliable records of the life history of Jesus, it clearly shows that Jesus thought of himself as the divine Son of God.
You know, my friend, when somebody speak about Jesus as a Muslim, then we need to see the character of a Muslim in Jesus. Forget about history. You know, let us say they want to say that Jesus was a Muslim. Okay, if Jesus was a Muslim, then he should be child molester like Muhammad.
Yeah.
He should be beating women. He should be marrying many women. He should be teaching us to lie. He should be teaching us to cheat. He should be teaching us that you can lie in 3 cases. That did Jesus says ever lie in 3 cases? Everything in the Bible says the opposite of what Muhammad said. So where is, you know, in order to see Jesus the Muslim, the one they are trying to talk about, we should find any of the teaching of Jesus except anything in Islam. Do Jesus says to us go and kiss stones and bow down to in front of the stones? Did Jesus says to us that you know, there's a Kaaba and you go around it and this is where your sin will be forgiven if you touch a black stone on the right and black stone on the left? Did Jesus says to you that if you go and kill a lizard, Allah will give you 100 reward, which is very funny and stupid? Did Jesus says to you that if you kill a human being for the sake doing jihad for Allah, then Allah will give us a lot of virgin? Jesus, he said in our heaven that there's no women, there's no women for sex. He and she, they will be the same as angels. So
no marriage at the resurrection.
Yes, there is no marriage, there is no sex. We will be the same as angels. What does that mean? We are going to be free from all needs. This is what angels are about. They don't have needs. They do not need to rest. They do not need to sleep. They do not food. They do not need anything. So Jesus promised us a freedom of a noble, higher spiritual life. Happy in Islam is having a big belly full of shish kebab, falafel, hummus, and women in the bed, and she is naked. So if we have the same God, if we have the same Jesus, at least Jesus should teach the same heaven. Now, can the Muslim show us where in our book it says if you go and kill somebody, God will reward you with women who they are so white to the point you can see through the bones, and you will be having orgasm for 70 years? The teaching of Islam is a teaching. Islam present for me a snake, a snake, but this snake go in your bed, and you don't see it. So you feel something soft is touching you. You might think maybe it's your wife. You might think it's maybe your cat, but the fact it is a very poison snake. That is Islam. But they try to present themselves as a religion, as a solution. But if Islam was a solution, how come Muhammad was not even have a good life in his own time? His wives were unhappy from him, disgusted by his behavior, and I can show right now in the front of all the Muslims a clear evidence from their own books about how Muhammad was disgusting.
Mhm.
Even the Quran speak about his wives. They go strike against him. Strike, imagine. It's like what we
Mhm.
see in the street. You know, what is missing is to see just people throwing rocks and say death to Muhammad. So
Mhm.
Muhammad was a very bad example in his time, and we just show people how he go to visit his own son, and then he cheat on his son, and he flirt with the wife. When Jesus said, if your eye will take you to hell, you better unblock it, take it off.
Mhm.
So how we can compare Jesus, if he is a Muslim, to Islam?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So you know, Muslims, and actually here we go. I am here, and I am waiting for a Muslim to call me, and I have no problem if they want to speak about different topic, you know. But as you see, they have no courage. Muslims, they make their statement in the front of people who do not know what Christianity is about,
Mhm.
and they debate only people who do not know what Islam is about, because this is the only way to you know, to guarantee that they will not get busted. It's like, you know, it's like going to I'm not going to debate somebody he have a degree PhD in mathematics about mathematics, because I will look like a fool. I don't have that knowledge, so he will make fun of me and everybody will laugh at me. And this is exactly what the Muslims will do. They will debate you about something you do not know, so they choose carefully. They are going to debate who. They will not debate you the second they notice that you know what you are talking about, you know your book, you know their book. They will avoid even saying hello to you. But
Mhm.
if you don't know, then they will be fighting over you to debate you.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening here. We are here. We go. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a Muslim to
think
call me.
I, I think if we were to compare the morality of Jesus and the Jesus of the New Testament and the Muhammad of Islam, for example, I don't know the exact hadith references, but Muhammad bought and traded slaves. In fact, he bought one Arab slave for two black slaves.
Yeah, well, there's tons of stories. Muhammad, one of his names in Arabic, Ba'i'ul Abid, which mean the slave trader, the seller. This is his business.
Right.
He used to do it for a living. So one of the funny of things about Muslims, when they, you see, when the Muslims speak to someone, he's an African, is
Hmm.
not the same Muslim when he speak to someone is a redhead.
Right.
When they speak to someone redhead, they don't talk about what the white man to the slaves and black. No, they, you know, they knew how to approach their victim. So they try to find what is the pain of this person, what is the problem he have. So if the problem is if he is an African, let us talk about the slaveries. Let us talk about what the European man did to him. But they will not tell him that the one who was capturing him and selling him to the European man was the Arab, the Muslims, the North
Hmm.
African Muslims. They are the one who captured the slaves, and who sold the slaves to the Arab.
Hmm.
Yes, the
Yeah.
European, they bought the slaves, and they did that, and it's a crime. But
Hmm.
why we don't see that who they bought the slaves from where?
Africa.
Who is the but yeah, who is in control of North Africa right now? All the refugees who come into Europe, they have to come through the Muslims country. Is that correct?
Hmm.
How they can get here? Because the Muslims, they enslaved them even before they come. Go and so right, see in the news how many women they've been captured by Muslims in Libya and treated as a sex slave.
Hmm. Yeah. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, this is the truth. So they speak about slavery, but they will not tell you we are the one who sold the slave. Our prophet was a slave dealer.
Hmm.
Our prophet, he have in his house many
Statistically,
slaves.
statistically, the Islamic slave trade was about 10 times bigger than the Western slave trade.
My friend, no, not 10 time, not 100 time. They are the slaves. They are the slave masters. You know, the city of Al Basra. You can go right now and search on Google. There's a revolution of a city. It's called the revolution of called the revolution of the Zinj. Zinj in
Right.
Arabic, it's coming from the word Negro, which is not really an Arabic word. Uh, the Negroes, as the Arabic call them, uh, they became the majority in certain areas in Iraq, and because they became by hundreds of thousands at that time, to the point that the city of Al-Basra was pure black.
Mhm.
So those black people, they made a revolution in certain time because they became the majority of the population.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
and they could not take it no more to be slaves. I mean, why would we not be slaves if we can fight back? And I agree with them. But then the Muslims, they gather from everywhere and they surrender them and they kill them all. This is why you go to Iraq right now, you don't find a black slave. When Iraq was a big black, hold for slavery, and there's
Mm.
by now we should have, imagine if 1400 years ago in one city we have 500 600,000 black African. After
Mhm.
1400 years, how many millions of Africans should be in Iraq? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Tens of.
we have zero. Where they go? They kill them.
Right.
So it's not 10 times. It's not, you know, nobody, you cannot believe how big the slavery business was. And the
What's
Muslims,
the
Harun
what's the
al-Rashid,
event called? The Revolution of Zinj.
Harun Rashid, one of the caliphate, Harun Rashid, he have 10,000 women slave in one palace. Women, just women. I'm not counting the men. And this is coming from Islamic books. 10,000 women slave just to do dancing, and those are the beautiful ones. We do not know how many in the kitchen. So when they
Mhm.
speak about slavery, I mean, this is amazing. The whole Islamic caliphate is based on slaves. So don't let the Muslims lie to you. Everything the Muslim, they say, you know, that's what the Muslims do. They speak about prostitution, but we just showed, if you watch the video from the beginning, the streaming, we showed you how
Mhm.
Muslim practice prostitution, but they give it different name. Actually,
Yeah.
even the Quran, you know, have a verse about prostitution and says clearly it is halal. If we go in the
Mhm.
Quran, let us show everybody.
Mhm.
You see here, when we say something, we don't make a speech, we give a proofs. So when a certain point, the people of Quraysh, they came to Muhammad and they told him, everybody is doing a prostitution business, and men, they are not liking to sleep with their women no more. You know, so what we will do? So look what Muhammad he did. He said, okay, what you want to do? He said, do something about it. You know, look, if we go in this chapter here, chapter 24, verse number 33, it says,
So that's Surah 24, verse 33.
yes, then it says, but force not your maids. This is not about maids, those are the slave girls, they force them to prostitution, but force them not, your slaves, into prostitution when they desire chastity. What does that
Right.
mean? What does that mean? It's mean that you can make them do prostitution if they like it, but force them not. However, if you force them, there's no punishment. In order you make a gain and good money, you know. But if anyone compel them, yet Allah is all forgiving and all merciful, which means it's okay at the end of the day. So try your best not to force them into prostitution. There's no punishment for that.
And do
Anyone,
not.
don't force them into prostitution if they choose not, which mean if she agree, Islam have nothing to do, it's not against Islam. So
Mhm.
if you have a girl and she agreed to do prostitution, Allah has no problem with it.
Wow. I
If you,
didn't even know that verse.
yeah, well, you are talking to me. This is a Christian prince. I hope you know who you I'm talking to, who, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, if you agree with them, or let us say they agree with you to do prostitution, there's no problem. However, even if you do, there's no punishment for you, and Allah is all forgiving.
Mhm.
Even if you force them. And you will see, since the time of Muhammad until not long time ago, until the Muslims collapsed and occupied by the French and the British and etc., slavery and prostitution was, you know, a great business for slaves. Now the slavery age is gone, but still is exist in many places. As example, Mauritania. Mauritania is an Islamic country. More than 75 to 80% of the population are slaves until now, 2017.
Wow. I think they illegalized slavery in 2009.
Well, it doesn't matter really. It's legal in Islam.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
see,
know, I know.
In Islam, it is legal. Nobody say you cannot own slaves. You see, the Muslims, they can agree with everything except what is against Sharia law. They cannot go against it. So the Quran said it clearly that slavery is lawful for you. This is why we see you see until now Muslims, they have slaves until now. You know, this is what ISIS, you know, if ISIS did not have cameras, you will not know what ISIS are doing, right? But because now we have technology, and by the help of the Muslim, they show us how they enslave women. So now people, they notice how this happened. Before we heard about it, but no, you know, we don't see it because you live in a different country and you are secure or safe somehow. But now the Muslims are showing you how they go and attack women and they get them as slaves and rape them and sell them in the market. I saw a video of a woman, she was sold for a VCR. Another woman, she was sold for what they call it, the game box, Xbox, what they call it, the box.
Xbox 360.
Yeah, the game box. Imagine a woman, she is sold for a game box. This is now. We're not talking about 1400 years ago. This is what the Muslims, they practice right now. So slavery in Islam is part of the religion. But if you speak to a Muslim, right away he start accusing the white man of slavery and how bad they treated the black. And it's but the fact is that the white man is the one who fought against slavery too. And in this country where I live in America, a lot of white men, they paid their life to free the black people. They die for that war. They die for it literally. They shed their blood to free a black man from slavery. Where in Islam we find such a person or such a religion or such a prophet who died to free the slaves? Bilal, the slave of Muhammad, which Muslims, they keep talking about him. Muhammad, he died and Bilal still a slave. How Muhammad is against slavery and he died and he owned slaves? Even Muhammad, he accepted slaves as gifts. Gifts. Imagine people, they come to your door, they give you gifts. They give him women slaves, and not only so, which means the slaves of Muhammad, not only women he captured, not only people he bought, it is gifts. So Muhammad, he have, we can say he have three kind of slaves. He have captured, he have a purchase, and he have a gift. So the one who purchased, obviously he is doing it by his own will, and the one who he received as a gift, he is doing it by his will. Because if you give me a bad gift, I will not accept it, right? If this is something against my belief, like imagine you come to me and you say, I want to give you a porn movie as a gift, I will throw it in your face because this is against my belief. So when Muhammad, he received a gift and he accept the gift and he enjoyed the gift, that's mean he like slavery and he practices slavery. And this is why in the same chapter 4 verse number 24, it says it clearly that it's forbidden for you married women except your right hand possess. Except,
is that talking about concubines?
well, those are the slaves,
Right.
simply slaves. So married women,
slaves.
yes, married women are forbidden for you except a slave woman. So a slave woman, she have no husband, you can have sex with her and no problem, you know. So even though she is married, you can have her.
Right. Not to keep you too long, but I'd just like to make two passing comments. I'd like to say that first of all, like all societies throughout history had slavery or some forms of slavery, but it was only the Christian society was the first to abolish it. And I come from England, and we have a politician who lived in the early 19th century called William Wilberforce, who was one of the leading politicians in England that led the fight against slavery. And he was a devout evangelical Christian, and he used his Christian faith to propagate the belief that blacks and whites were all equal under the eyes of God. They were all created in God's image.
My friend, The question is, why Jesus did not own a slave? Correct?
Why Jesus did not own a slave?
Yes, why? Because simply, it is, you see, our best example is not the person, even though the person you mentioned, his name is a good person, but we as a Christian, our best example is Jesus, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jesus, he never owned one. Can Jesus own? For sure. The person who raised people from death, people, they will give him anything he wish.
Right.
You know, imagine you have a dead family member, and then you have somebody, he can raise that person for you in a second, and you will give him all your money.
Mm-hmm.
So he can own slaves, but he never owned one. So we as a Christians, our best example is the Messiah. The Messiah, he did not ask us to go and kidnap people and enforce them to do things for us. He said, if somebody asks you for one step, you walk with him 1,000. If somebody asks you for your coat, you give him your dress. If somebody, and in the top of that, he said, if somebody he hate you and he curse you, bless them, love your enemy. So if Jesus is a Muslim, then we need to ask ourselves, how come Muhammad wanna kill even the one who did not even say any bad word to him, but Jesus wanna bless the one who even cursing us?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, my friend, for calling. We have a Muslim trying to call, maybe.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
I appreciate
Very
your
nice
call.
speaking
Feel free to call again, please. You know, and I will be happy to hear you again.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, my friend.